started as just a secret between myself and Mike, and it was only when Dave Lombardo got involved that we actually considered if any other people were going to hear it. You know, there's a lot of fans of Biffy. It's maybe not quite what they're into. It's maybe a bit too extreme, but we've been really feeling some incredible support from the Biffy fans, and also been, you know, playing these shows to different types of people. It's really liberating. You know, after 20 years of being on tour and being in the same kind of band, it's nice to just step out of it and do something that is pure venom.
What's up, everybody? It's Keefy, GhostCultMag.com, and I am honored to be joined by Empire State Bastard. How are you guys doing today?
We are terrific. Thank you, brother. Thanks for having us.
You look terrific. You sound terrific. I'm so pleased we got to do this. We were supposed to do an interview at Riot Fest on Sunday, but the rain...
Oh, it was shit. It was like they just decided to start the festival as our show should have ended. That's what it felt like. It was a real tease the other day, but devastated to not play. What a festival it is, Riot Fest. But yeah, we got to start our tour in earnest last night, playing with Chat Pile and with Poisson Rouge.
Yes, I love that name and I love that club. I'm originally from New York. I'm back on the West Coast. I was in Chicago. I'm everywhere. We were at the show last night. We had correspondents covering the show last night. So we're going to have a whole review. And I heard nothing but glowing things over text messages while I was traveling back west.
Fantastic, man. Where are you in the West then, brother?
I'm in San Francisco.
Beautiful, man.
And I was literally just back east for a spell and at Riot Fest to cover Riot Fest. And they did a wonderful job. Listen, you know, again, like Mother Nature had other ideas and they did the best they could. I know some people who were I met just fans who were telling me some of those early Sunday bands like Microwave was one young lady's favorite band ever, and they got canceled. It's really hard. And I know you're no strangers to rain and the mud of download and other things, Falcon and things, but you know,
I've gone in summer holidays with worse weather.
100%, man. Glastonbury has been like absolutely life-threatening, but they don't shut the place down, honestly.
Right, Glastonbury and Rock am Ring and Rock and Park have lightning storms pretty much every single year. They have but in respect to Riot Fest, listen, they did put safety first. It was very appreciative. They, you know, powdered the whole field where it was soggy and put down chips and sand.
Yeah, they got to make sure the kids and everyone going to the show is safe and that the bands that are playing. Yeah, we just gutted that we didn't play, but no, they did the right thing. You know, you can't risk, especially day 3 of a festival, you can't risk people getting hurt or something happening.
No, not at all.
Hopefully we'll be back. Hopefully we'll be back. Riot Fest will re-invite us, hopefully.
They definitely will. Or some of your other bands, maybe. But I was going to say, and Lombardo has played Riot Fest, and he, you know, a lot, and he played with Bungle. So out of curiosity, since I know you were hanging around a bit on Saturday, did you get to see any other bands and see any of your friends in other bands?
Yes, we saw Bungle. We saw Dave playing with Mr. Bungle. So we met Trevor and Mike, and they're fucking absolute gentlemen. Watched a bit of Queens of the Stone Age, our old buddies, our other band, Biffy Clyro, toured with Queens loads over the years. So yeah, it was really nice. It was nice to go down a day you're not playing. We spend so much of our time at festivals, and you kind of have the show, and you're lucky if you can see another band because you get fucking press and all that shit. So it was really nice to just be down as music fans and wander around. So what a great sight, what a great festival, great vibe. And it's just when you're in a field like that and you're sharing a love of heavy music and, like, you know, heavy rock, fucking whatever. I mean, there's all sorts there, but that's when we feel are most comfortable. I think it was nice to be surrounded by fellow music loving souls.
Really eclectic lineup, and like just the amount of talent in the place. You know, we watched Mr. Bungle, which is enough talent for the whole world, frankly, in that band. But then with the Queens, the next night I went to see The Cure because I was licking my wounds from the show being cancelled. So I felt they were the perfect band for that moment.
Just to make himself feel better, at the cancelled show, he went for 3 hours of beautiful Cure music. He was a wreck.
Amazing. Depressing music does make you feel better, at least for me.
Yeah.
Always.
So, I'm really excited about how much this band and the album Rivers of Heresy, out now on Roadrunner, has been received, because I feel like, you know, Biffy Clyro, we've covered the band a ton because we're partially based and founded in Western Europe, but I know Americans know you guys, but not as well. And I was saying offline what a huge Oceansize fan I was, and we never got to cover the band with this website, but I'm a massive fan. But it's been really well received. It's so heavy, but also you guys are also very eclectic in your music, and I feel like maybe that's part of the appeal. Has it surprised you how many people are are hopping on this hype train?
Yeah, I mean, because it started as just a secret between myself and Mike, and it was only when Dave Lombardo got involved that we actually considered if any other people were going to hear it. You know, there's a lot of fans of Biffy. It's maybe not quite what they're into. It's maybe a bit too extreme, but we've been really feeling some incredible support from the Biffy fans, and also been, you know, playing these shows to different types of people. It's really liberating. You know, after 20 years of being on tour and being in the same kind of band, it's nice to just fucking step out of it and do something that is pure venom. You know, it really, I think we've both needed this for a little while.
It's strange sort of going through so many bands, so many different things over the years and being in the moment, but always wondering, well, what else is there to do? And I can't believe that we've ended up here, you know. After been doing it for so long, we end up in an extreme metal.
It was always going to happen, man. It was always going to happen.
I've got to tell you this story, man. Like, so as you say, in all the reviews, you know, the response has been absolutely overwhelming, and I'm really proud. But my ego kind of won't let me believe the good news. So yesterday, I saw a really bad review, like a video review of some kid who's like disappointed because he thought the record was going to sound more like Alter Bridge. That was his expectation for it, was that, you know, these guys are just not cut out for this extreme metal thing. They should stick to doing something like Alter Bridge. I was like, wow.
That's not what we were trying to achieve with this record.
Nothing against.
They were one of the things we were definitely not going to do.
Yeah, nothing against Alter Bridge. They're a fine band.
Absolutely.
But gee whiz.
Yeah, Miles has got an incredible voice. I mean, they're an unbelievable band, but you know, it wasn't what we were trying to do. But you know, the people that really get it, and that's what this is all about. You know, it's our love of everything fucking underground that kind of has educated us since we were teenagers, and it's really nice to just like, it's a kind of passion and an expression of everything that kind of matters to us, and we still love melodies, we still love songs, but this project is not that. This is pure expression, pure rage, and it feels good that people that are into it and really into it, you know, that's all you can ask for. I've always said from when I started playing music, I'd rather be 10 people's favorite band than a million people's 20th favorite band, and that applies with this as well.
I love that notion. Before I first heard a note, it was described to me if Jesus Lizard played Crowbar song, and I at a Dillinger show. So I was like, that description, Jesus Lizard, Crowbar, Dillinger Escape Plan, that Venn diagram. Definitely somewhere there in lay. Empire
no pressure. No pressure in that diagram, Jesus.
No pressure. But also a compliment to talent, you know.
I'm definitely not going to get my cock out as often as David Yao did.
No. And we won't be throwing bags of shit anywhere.
No. Yeah, no bags of shit a la Dillinger, and no cock play.
I have seen too much of David Yao. Let's just leave it there. I've seen too much of him. But
yeah, fair.
Butts and guts, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's such a good record, and again, by all accounts, I will have to see you somehow live the next time you come over, or if I get back over to Europe. But hopefully there'll be more of this. I know you have so many things going on. And we did get to cover, you know, Download, and you guys played other festivals in Europe, and so, you know, this would have been our third spot for coverage. Instead, it was the small intimate club of Le Poisson Rouge, as you mentioned. Such a killer place. I was just there like 3 weeks ago, and it is an incredible place.
Who were you seeing? Who did you go and see?
Stabbing Westward, who are
were they back playing? No way.
Yeah, they have a record out from last year. That was kind of their first record in 20 years, Chasing Ghosts. It's wonderful.
Oh, fantastic, man. You got a wee teenage tear in your eye then when the songs came on a bit.
A little bit. I'm not a totally open, I'm not openly emo or goth, but I have a closet goth inside of me, like all of us. And Stabbing just hits, and they're so good. And their new record is really great, like I said.
I need to check it out, brother. Thanks for the recommendation.
They're killing it. So let's talk a little bit about Rivers of Heresy. Let's just get into a little track by track. I will shout out the track names, and whatever you want to share about the record, we would love to hear. So, of course, the album opens with Harvest, which was a big single for you guys.
Yeah, that was the kind of first statement we felt it was the best kind of encapsulation, roughly, of what the record is. With, you know, there's lots of dimensions to the record, but anyone that was wondering whether we were going to sound like Alter Bridge, when they heard that song, they probably knew that's not the case. I mean, musically, Mike, do you want to?
It's got a bit of a bossa nova heavy metal vibe for the opening riff. I don't know if that's a new one on me, but yeah, it's got a nice sort of gallop to it. It goes a bit spazzy, sort of Phantomassy. And Dave, gets to absolutely kick the shit out of the outro. So it feels so good to play.
Yeah, it does. So it's like we've been opening most of our shows, well, every show with it. And I guess kind of lyrically, it kind of kicks, it's about, I mean, it's hard to say what a song's about, but it's about identity to a certain extent. And especially when I was completing all the lyrics, we were in pandemic, and it was almost easier to reflect your own reality and your own identity through other people's experiences because we were all living through the screen. So it's kind of just about my issues with that and how we all lost sense of reality at a different point and what was kind of up and down. And that's basically what the song's about, just trying to find yourself in an era when it's quite hard to find yourself.
Well said. Thanks for unpacking all of that. The second track on the album is Blusher.
Yeah, I fucking love this. This was one of the first ones I think that made perfect sense to me vocally. When Mike sent it, I knew what the vocals were going to do. It guided me along. And all the best music really does. This album was intended to have no kind of melody in the whole thing, but there's certain moments in the album where it needed melody. This is not one of those songs, actually. But this is just, I mean, lyrically it's about not taking accountability, not being like, we shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes and own up to mistakes. That's basically the simplicity of this record. We're in an era where for some reason it's seen as an extreme fallibility or an extreme weakness to say, I don't know anything about this. And I think that's how we all grow. So lyrically, it's just about being able to say I made a fucking mistake. But you know what? You don't need to write me off. I can learn, I can grow. And musically, this is just fucking, the verse in this, it's just so powerful. It's probably one of the heaviest parts, I think, of the whole record, and probably most metal.
It's like alternate picking hell. If that section went on another 5 seconds, I think my arm might fall off, man. Got to really, really dig in and watch Dave get it absolutely locked in.
Hand cramp is a genuine concern for this whole fucking band. Everyone is on the verge of fucking cramp of some sort.
RSI call, man.
I feel like we need a lot of, if you play with Lombardo, I feel like you got to have a lot of bananas for potassium. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking right.
Hydrate a lot.
Dave wakes up with that energy. He's such a fucking bundle of joy and fun and energy in life. It's a pleasure to spend time with Dave. I'm sure you've spoken to Dave over the years, but he's a fucking legend.
I got to meet him. He was fantastic. The third song, speaking of a little bit of melody, is Moi.
So this was again the first kind of moment of kind of respite, I guess, in the record, and we really wanted, because we come from a kind of alternative rock and progressive rock background, we really want to kind of give this real moments of vulnerability to the record, so that when it sounds like a cliche, the melodic bit's melodic and the heavy bit's very fucking heavy. But this song, just again, it's creepy. Yeah. Like, that's why I really like this song, and the lyrics is about being that creep and trying to convince someone that the right way. And if you just learn how to lie, if you just learn how to kind of pull a fast one and be disingenuous, then you'll be A-okay. So it's a kind of, like, the singer of this song is almost like a sleazy kind of charmer, and the music just took me down that path. It's a wee bit sexy, morbid sexy. What's wrong with being sexy?
It's got the right tempo, I guess.
And again, and it's just the push and pull. A lot of Mike's guitar playing has just really given this album so many places to go. And because I was coming in after with vocals and keyboards, a song like this really, it just showed that there's no limits to this record and what we can do as a band. So this is one of my favorites to play live, actually.
Yeah, they're all really satisfying. Every song, I'm just like going through it in my head going, God, it feels good to play. And this, they're just I think that's the key to it, is that I think you can hear our enthusiasm in the record. You're not going to turn anybody else on if you're not feeling it, but it's just such fun to play this stuff.
Right on. Certainly one of my favorites, along with Harvest and this next track, Tired Eye.
Yeah.
Forgive my accent there. That was pretty terrible.
It was good, man. It was good. Tired Eye. This has been one of my dreams forever, to do just a vocal in a drum track. Now, I've never been able to kind of write the right drum piece. Mike supplied me with the right drum piece. So the annoying thing was for Mike is that I muted his beautiful guitar riff. There's a version of this song with guitars, and I kind of like risked the ire of Mike by saying, do you mind in this incredible song if you just don't play? And it's just the obnoxiousness of it, the kind of, it feels, this whole band and this whole record and whatever we work on next, we feel really fearless, and to do something as extreme as that and not take the easy way out by putting guitars on it, I just think it kind of sets out our stall of who we are. And to do a duet with Dave Lombardo, who doesn't want to fucking do that? It's like a dream come true. So it's funny live though. It was last
night, that's what cracked the audience. It was like, now they're gonna mosh, and they went crazy for a song with no guitars or bass in it.
So the next album will have no guitars. We'll see.
Dave has already put out a record of just drums this year, so anything is possible.
Fucking right, and what a record! Right, so percussion.
Yeah.
Anyone that's watching this, please, if you like any kind of out there and really creative and fucking
so
and inspiring,
cinematic, that record.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And also his record with his wife Paula Vennart.
Yeah, Vennart.
Like speaking of The Cure, speaking of some gothy Bauhaus stuff, you know.
Right, Dave's got layers for days. That's what's It's wonderful to see to work with someone like Dave who's done so fucking much, but still has the hunger to look for new things to excite him. He's not interested in resting on his laurels, and that's how we feel, being a little less long in the tooth, but having done this for a while, it's so important to keep the reasons for doing it pure. And that can be hard the longer you do it, but as long as Mike says, if it feels good when you're in the room, if it feels good when you're recording it, that's all that you can count on. Everything else is for the fucking birds.
he treads the bent path. The righteous bent path is an example to us all.
The next track is Sons and Daughters.
Yeah, this is a monolith.
Bit of a dirgy one, this, yeah. We get a moment of drone in this. It's kind of, to me, it's a good job Simon sort of went and did the vocals and came up with the ideas himself, because musically I couldn't get past the fact that it just needs Buzz Osborne singing on. Luckily he didn't. He just didn't go there at all. But yeah, it's again just like,
this is a monolith. This is the one that I feel that we're fucking walking through a desert when we play this. It's all the other songs are kind of right on the edge, either technique wise or pace, and are really frantic. This one, it's like we try and make it slow as we can, and I guess lyrically it's about just how cheap and easy wars are to get into. I mean, and that's probably a bit obvious if you listen to the lyrics, but it's kind of just how cheap life can be, and how each generation just gets flung to the fucking wolves because of some, generally a corporation's interests. And it's just, life can be so fucking cheap, and especially after the pandemic when we lost so many people to the fucking bug, and then there was like Ukraine war happened straight after, and it's just like, how cheap can we value human beings? I really was convinced we would come out of that with this, not necessarily a sense of harmony, but a sense of like relief that we're all fucking still breathing. And so it was a real heartbreaker that wasn't the case, and that's what the song. And it felt like the music of this almost feels like a tank to me. It's just like fucking something that's just mowing down civilization. And so yeah, it kind of took me in that twisted perspective.
What's that quote from Malcolm Tucker? Like the whole situation, it's like the Shawshank Redemption. It said, more tunneling through shit and no fucking redemption.
I can add nothing to that, but I think we all just became new best friends. I'm with you on all that. No notes. Excellent. The next track is Stutter.
Stutter. This is our pop song. Yeah. This is the one I think of as it's a 3-minute pop hardcore song.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to play. Just really, in fact, it's worth talking about the outro in this song, because Mike, I feel, has channeled something that certainly I've never done or he's never done in any music, and it's this kind of transcendental, slow, like sun-esque or sleep-esque chord movement with the fastest fucking double kick going, and only Dave Lombardo can do that kick. Yes. But it's this mixture between pure freneticism and then like fucking tantra.
Yeah, it's like, it's drone thrash. Got to do more of that vibe.
Get that shit on Spotify. You'll start the drone thrash genre. Get those streaming numbers up, man.
Hashtag drone thrash. And as a journalist, I love any new subgenre tag I can add in. So
well, there you are. That
help me do my job.
Spread the word. Really. Spread the word, brother.
Do you like crossover? No, mate. Drone thrash.
Yeah, exactly. We don't deviate.
That's what we're gonna do. The next track is Palms of Hands.
Well, we had a cameo. That was our tour manager who keeps us all good. So Palms of Hands, that is a song. It's fucking chaos. I love the fact the riff is barely a riff. It's just mayhem. The song's about after the lack of intimacy during the pandemic and everything, and I just kind of visualized the first kind of bit of intimacy you would have would be to go to a sex party, and things just weren't the way they used to be. Everyone's lost their etiquette. No one knows what they're doing. Everyone's taking the wrong drugs. Everyone's wearing the wrong clothes. And it just felt preposterous enough. The song was preposterous enough to kind of carry that kind of idiocy in the lyrics, I guess.
Yeah, it's got a real aggro punk thrash kind of feel to it. Also, it's one of the only songs that's actually all in 4/4.
4/4.
I know the guitars are in 5/8 though, so that all the drums are in 4.
It's never as simple as that. Never as simple as that.
Right on. I'm sure. I know Lombardo is doing like the meme in his head of all the calculations. Right. I don't even think it's natural to him, but his brain is doing it, but not his body is autonomous. Of course.
He's only fully functioning when he's thinking in such weird fucking counts. It's weird.
Right on. The next track is Dusty.
Yeah, this song really spoke to me. It's probably as close to kind of more of a kind of noise rock song. This is a bit of a kind of soundscape song. Sonically to me, it sounded like a dust storm. So it got me thinking about, the dust storm back in the 20th century, I guess, in like Kansas and everything. It's North Florida. I guess it was Kansas and St. Louis and things. And how people had to leave their home because of the fucking weather and because there was no sunlight for days. And how some people are kind of going through a similar thing at the moment, but it's weird to think that almost 100 years on, people are having to leave their homes and their towns and where their family grew because of the fucking nature of the world changing. So it felt appropriate to kind of combat that in this song. But yeah, I just love it. It's a real lurcher. It's like a grotesque cousin to like Moi or something. That's what I think.
Yeah. Again, you get quite a lot of the song is just drums and vocals. It's actually 2 drum kits. Yeah.
See, when I was trying to do the singing for this, Mike didn't tell me it's an 11/8. So I'm fucking trying to count this when he first sent it. I'm like, I cannot get the 1 on this, man. And then when he told me, I was like, you fucking, it's 11/8, of course.
Yeah, it's really wonky. All the best music's a bit wonky, isn't it?
Our music's here.
Fair enough. Rivers of Heresy, not just a great album, but also a math quiz. Anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. Find the one, guys.
Find the one. That's it. Maybe that'll be like a secret on the next record in the artwork or something. The next to last track is Sold with an exclamation point.
Another assault. I love how this one comes in, man. Again, feels great. We don't even count it in live. It just kind of just fucking starts. It just feels really satisfying. Again, more of that Gonzo Phantomas kind of vibe,
Guitar solos at the end.
Do a bit of a guitar solo, make it as horrible as possible.
To me, this is actually one of the most preposterous songs because it's got a bit of surf rock, it's got guitar solos, it's got a bit of fucking melody,
some swearing,
as all good songs should have. And fucking Dave Lombardo going nuts. But yeah, this was one of there's a couple of songs like Harvest, Stutter, and this one potentially were the ones that kind of became the early spine of the album, and we're like, we know these are in the zone. And then the kind of album kind of grew arms and legs, I guess. And it felt like the perfect song to go before, or the last song, the record, which is The Looming. As soon as we recorded it, it was like nothing can follow this song. It had to go last in the record. It's a beautifully kind of psychedelic fucking freak out about the end of the world, of course. A real cheery record. This, there's moments of humor throughout it. I hope it's not an oppressive listen, but lyrically there's some dark moments. And this song is just, it's about the end of the world looming towards us. And again, the music kind of dictates where you go as a vocalist or something, and Mike was so specific with kind of the outlines of each songs and how they sat and the arrangement and the structure that it really made it was a pleasure for me to come in at that stage and kind of just try and embellish all the beauty that Mike was bringing. So I just hope I didn't ruin that song by putting some...
It's fucking great. I like, especially live, it kind of goes off on a bit of a wig out that it's been building, and there's this real ecstatic moment of release that every time we do it live, it gets to this point and the whole place just goes like, oh my God. And it's just so satisfying.
And I think that's what the end of the world will be like. There'll be a moment of pure beauty.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, there is going to be a moment where all our, maybe this sounds a bit nihilistic, but a moment where our jaws will drop before the fucking end. And that's what this song feels like. Those little like shafts of sunlight just through this immense darkness. So I hope that was a decent enough rundown, brother. It's like dancing about architecture. Sometimes we ruin our songs by talking about them, but I hope that was all right.
That was wonderful. Thank you for unpacking all that. And I never expect everybody to reveal all the secrets. I do love the reference to Horrible there in the best possible way, because that's an inside joke. That's an inside joke at Ghost Cult, that we love all the horrible music in the best way.
That's what we say. That's fucking right. If it's not, it needs to disgust us ever so slightly. It needs to music's about making you feel. And that's what we've always chased. I know that's what you've committed your life to as well. It's like, music that makes you feel something. That's all we fucking want from bands we play in and bands we listen to. And you know what? If you make that your fucking outline, then music's always going to give you joy, you know. And we feel very lucky to still be doing this and to be talking to yourself, man.
Well, right back at you. This has been wonderful. I'm glad we got to actually get it in. Shout out to Roadrunner and the wonderful staff there taking care of you and taking care of Ghost Cult. I really, really appreciate it. And again, best of luck on the road. You got St. Vitus, and then hopefully some other things will get announced to fit in around your very busy schedules.
Yeah, hopefully we'll come to your coast sometime soon, man. We're just putting some plans together now, so we'll see. Hopefully you'll see us sooner rather than later. But we really appreciate the support as well, man.
We'll have a pint together. I would love to.
Fucking
Absolutely,
right. Give me a big Scottish hug, brother.
Yes, sir. You will get one for sure. You're gonna get like a little street stuff from me also.
Yeah, man, I can do that.
And a little hand jive, all the shit. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Keefy. Take care, man.
Keefy. Take care, brother.
I don't know how to turn this off, so I'm just gonna leave
I got it. We'll just stay on for the whole day. It's fine.
Fucking